OK, let's start with Pep Guardiola then. Manchester City will end 2024 as champions, but they're probably ready for the year to end, really, after their shock loss of form in the past couple of months.
And never mind their title defence, Guardiola thinks they may even miss out on a place in the top 4.
Yeah, after 6 defeats in their last 8 league games, City have dropped to 7th. They tried to get back on track today. They're against Everton.
Yeah, it's presumptuous, you know. It was winning the Premier League and said the Champions League is a big success. I know what it is, because it happened in the clubs in this country for many, many years. Like, they were dominant in this club, and after have been many, many years not qualifying for the Champions League. I think the only team have been 11 or 12 years being in Champions League this season have been Man City. Now we are at risk, of course we are. Definitely we are. So you have to get points and win games, otherwise we will not qualify for the Champions League. If you not qualify, it's because we don't deserve it. We were not prepared because we have a lot of problems and we didn't solve that problems and didn't find a way, you know, to winning games. But of course, there are a lot of contenders to be there. For every club is, you know, is so important. Right now we are out, and if not win game, we will be out.
Well, what a back end of the year it's been for Manchester City. Let's get a bit more on this now and join our reporter, Peter Stevenson. Peter, good to see you this morning. I'm wondering, though, I mean, after everything that City have won season after season after season, is there a real danger that they might not win anything this season?
Well, a very good morning to you. It's a murky old Boxing Day in Manchester, and in a way that's quite appropriate, because just at the moment City seem to be in a footballing fog, swirling round, trying to get out of it, trying to find a solution. And as you say, at the moment, 22nd in the Champions League, could go out at the first stage. 12 points behind behind Liverpool. So again, in the Premier League title race, virtually disappeared. Already out of the League Cup, of course. So that just leaves the FA Cup, and at the moment you really wouldn't put any money on them to win that either. So strange times at Manchester City, 9 defeats in 12, and I'm sure Guardiola's using all his many years of experience. Let's not forget, we're talking about one of the world's top football managers, but this is a real challenge for him. Trying to find a way out of the puzzle. Is it form? Is it confidence? Is it injuries? Is it a perfect storm of all three? He brought the players in for training last night, which was interesting. They've all stayed at the training ground last night, which is also interesting. Maybe a team bonding exercise, maybe just to get them with their minds firmly fixed on the job in hand today. And that has to be 3 points. That has to be stopping what has become a really miserable run of form.
Well, Everton's not going to be easy, is it, Peter? They're going to be keen to frustrate City, as they have Arsenal and Chelsea in recent weeks.
Yeah, I saw Everton play Chelsea a couple of days ago and was really impressed with their, as you'd expect with the Sean Dyche team, really well organised, worked their socks off, urged on by a big crowd. And in a way today, that's possibly what's going to be significant here at the Etihad behind me, because the City fans have got to stay with their team. The frustration in the stands can't afford to transmit itself to the players. Everton will again be sorted by Sean Dyche. And again, let's make no mistake about this, there'll be no sympathy for Manchester City from anybody in the Premier League. City have dominated proceedings for many years now, and this is a testing time for them. And the likes of Everton, and in the next couple of games, Leicester and West Ham to face City, they'll all be thinking now that City are vulnerable. They'll be looking back at City's previous games and thinking, this is our time, we can catch them cold, maybe try and get some points. That's never happened in recent seasons. City have dominated so much. So this is an Everton team, if you like, the clean sheet specialists of European football, coming here with Sean Dyche, determined to get something from the game. And City today might have to be a little patient and certainly committed, certainly organised, and they'll hope today they can finally put an end to what's been a really dreadful run of results.
Thanks ever so much, Peter. And as Peter mentioned, City playing a rejuvenated Everton, who have picked up impressive draws against title chasers Arsenal and Chelsea. Despite the issues at City, Sean Dyche says they still remain a huge threat.
You know, and the details, if they're not right, even for the top teams, you know, if you don't get them right, then things don't work out for you. They'll be trying to correct that. We're in the progress of correcting somewhat what we were doing. We still need to win more games, obviously, and score more goals. But is a constant thing. I don't know all of Pep's history, but I think it's unlikely he's had too many spells like this. So you'd think at some point it happens, even to the best, and he is arguably one of the best ever. So for him to have a testing period actually shows how tough the game is, and even for the top side, to stay at the very top. They were talking about these games coming up, as you know, and you rightly spoke to me about them, this tough run. Well, Pep's having a tough run. Even he'll be looking at the fish going, they suddenly look a bit tougher than when they're rolling over teams, left, right and centre, which they have done many times. No, it's not. You don't go there and expect, we're going to win just because. We've got to go and deliver a performance. They haven't all become terrible players overnight, trust me. And he certainly is not a terrible manager, I know that. So, you've got to be guarded, but we've got to equally believe in what we're doing.